$26 in a year, and their 25 years in retirement is what the average person spends year-wise, that's how much it costs to feed a couple in retirement. And that's just feeding you. We haven't turned the lights on, we haven't paid the water bill, and so most couples don't stop when they're in business. And I'm saying as a couple unit because most people go into business with their partner, with their spouse. And they never stop to plan for their future. So that's probably the most critical mistake that I see them make on the front end, that they never sit down, figure out what the plan is, and do the exit strategy. But at retirement planning piece is where I see people drop the ball.
Okay, and kind of segue into the plan that business owners and even us personally we must make. Can you speak about some of the places business owners can actually place their money to enhance the longevity of their business as they are facing these challenges, both in the present and maybe those in the future that are sure to come?
As I work with business owners, my responsibility is the same as I tell individuals in that space, is that every dollar deserves a home. And so figuring out what the roadmap is, we call it the financial GPS in our office. What's the financial GPS? Where are we going? Why are we doing it? And so if you understand what the trajectory is as to why you want your business to go in that direction, it makes it a lot easier to figure it out. Because then you don't buy frivolous things and you don't change with trends. And that's what most business owners will do, and they'll spend money. This new latest greatest thing came out. I'm going to invest in this equipment, or I'm going to invest in this new plane because it came out. But if you know your plan and you know your customer, then we can kind of set that roadmap in place. And so not pivoting too much, sticking to what you do well, master that, and then we add on and do the next best thing. But you got to have that plan in place first, and I think that's where most people drop the ball.
Absolutely. Now, as I'm sure we've all encountered or will encounter, the finance world is very diverse, it's very broad. You've got the stocks, you've got the bonds, you've got mutual funds, you've got retirement plans out the woozah. In light of that, what are some of the opportunities that business owners have when it comes to investing their money into assets?
So there's several things. You do have the stock fund, mutual fund world, and what I tell people most time, you do a great job running your business. Run your business. Let me deal with that. And the same thing I tell people, I go to Dr. McRae to do my dentist for a reason. I do not do my own root canal for a reason. And I say that because what you don't want to do is spend more time, because time is the one thing you do not get back. That's even more important than this. And so figuring out strategically how we're going to spend our time, energy, and effort. And then also figure out your professional needs. If you need an accountant, go hire an accountant. It is okay. It is okay, because if you're spending 13 hours a week doing payroll, when you could hire somebody to do it that can do it in 2, pay them that, because then you can free your time up to do what you need to do to run your business and to grow your business. And so investing in the other professional services outside of retirement planning, it's okay. And so look at that also as an investment as well over time. That's how I think about it. So
Thank you, Michelle. So as we've heard, business owners, emerging business owners, those out there with ideas about maybe wanting to start a business, it's very essential, it's very important to be linked together with a financial advisor to understand that roadmap and having that course of direction, GPS as she's called it, in where you're going. You don't want to get there and then run out of fuel because you saw this and you've done that, you've done this. There's always a plan to keep in mind. Thank you so much, Michelle. Miss Beverly from the vet. As a vet in the industry, what are some points of references that help you get to be the entrepreneur that you are today?
I love people. I love to serve. When we started as a team, and that was well, let me back up a little bit. I started at the federal government in Washington, D.C., Agency for International Development. And the supervisor that was assigned to me, because didn't look like me, but said I was straight out of Stillman College in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And she said that she was not going to have no little Ian coming telling her what to do. Well, I was straight out of the civil rights movement, so I simply looked at her and said, they're not paying me for what you think, but they're paying me for what I think would be the right now. It's not much. Well, you know, of course, my mother was ready for me to come back home. She said they were going to find me up there somewhere. At any rate, it was the the love of people and the ability to call a spade a spade. And you have to be able to do that. But over the years, as a vet, you've learned to put some finesse to it.
All right. All right.
Come
You learn to calm it down. And so the point of reference that once I left Washington D.C. And I actually came to D.C. to get married. And who I married was who is also we were still together, but who said that he was going to go into business for himself. He had quite similar experiences. And so I guess our point of reference was to serve, to be able to do it for yourself. You're learning to do it for somebody else. Be able to learn to do it for yourself. And then help somebody else do it for themselves. So I guess my point of reference that helped me get where I am is, and those who know me know I am straightforward. You know, it is what it is. You know, I love people, and I love helping. I love serving, and I think my attitude and my references. If you're gonna be in business, don't be a hypocrite. Be whatever it is that you are. You know, and so that's, I get sometimes Leo, because of that. When he was alive, he used to say, "Baby, I believe you can say that a little different." And I was saying, yeah, you know, I'll try it the next time. To say, but once somebody gets to know you and they know who you are, when you start to try to be somebody that you are not, then you put yourself up. So I guess my point of reference that helped me get where I am today is to just be who you are.
And that's so important.
Yes, and to help folks, to help them sincerely. And once you help somebody, please don't feel like you got to go tell everybody you help them.
Amen.
You know, if you help somebody, help them from your heart and be through with it. It's not important that everybody else knows, you didn't do it from your heart. You did it for somebody else who knows you did it. So, you know, these are little side things that I throw out now at this point. So, a real point of reference, I don't know if I can identify, but those are some of the references.
And what amazing references those are. And what kept just kind of going over in my mind is identifying your why and sticking to it, as you said. Because once you have your why into view, regardless of the path and the ups and the downs and the obstacles that get on the path, you're able to stay the course. And 40 years of this is living proof that, you know, tenacity, that perseverance, that, you know, wow, you've had to make some tweaks along the way. You know, those points of reference will always come back to serve you well in business, whatever level that you start on. And great segue into that why. Second question is, you mentioned that you own the business here in Athens. Can you tell us about your breakout story and how you've pioneered into the position that you're in right now, CEO, president? Love it.
My very first job in Athens, as I said when I introduced myself, was a teacher at Athens Tech. And I was there 1 year before I was promoted to department head. There were 13 members in the business education department at Athens Tech. None of them looked like me. The school director said to me after the first year, I need to move you to department head. And I kind of looked at him and I said, is that simple? Because the first year I was there, Lester Maddox had come through handing out axe handles. And he saw me and he didn't. And I caught him in the hall and said, you could give me one too. But he was running then. So Mr. Schiller, who was the school director, said that he was going to try that. And I really was a little bit questionable about it, but I talked to my husband about it. And he said, try. If it doesn't work out, you don't have to stay. And so, long story cut, after the first year as department head, I was there for another from 1968 to 76. But from 72 to 74, Coy was working on the groundwork for putting Grandview together. And he had said that he wanted me to work with him. Well, I didn't really want to do that. I had completed all of my coursework at the University of Georgia for the Doctor of Education, and the only thing I had left was to sit for my dissertation. And the department head had said we wrote a book because we couldn't find the book we wanted to teach out of. That long story of that book was published by one of the 3 top publishing companies we could did, but it was published by the first one. So I was getting ready to defend that and all excited about that. And he came to the dinner table one day and said, I really need to have you work with me. And I thought, I don't want to do this. So that took my appetite. Because you have to figure out how you say, no, I really don't want to do this. So we prayed over it a little while. Meanwhile, he took a trip over to Russia and Estonia and all of that. And surveyors came. Many of you may not know about it. You probably know about surveyors if you talk CNAs. The surveyors came to Grandview, and the staff called me at Athens Tech to come to Grandview. So I did. I took off and went to get them through that. Well, won't you know that we had no deficiencies with that survey. I didn't know I was setting a trap for myself with no deficiencies. So when Coy came back off the trip and the team told him what had happened and that I had come and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Oh, I lost my appetite for the next 2 weeks because all I could hear is I need to have you to work with me. And so finally, as you can see, I gave it a go. And I stopped cold turkey, did not defend the book, did not defend for dissertation, stopped, and he said, no, now I want you to finish. Well, so that you can know who I am, I simply said to him, babe, you want me to stop and you want me to go into long-term care. I've got to go back and go to nursing school so I know what to do once I'm over there because I can't supervise nurses if I don't know what they do. So I made a circle and went to Medical College of Georgia in the nursing program. He said, finish your doctorate. You already through all of that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I simply said, lost my appetite again. Baby, I don't need a doctorate to wash old folks' butts. And he said, I just feel so bad. I said, no, because you just kept bugging me about this. So, at any rate, that's how, when you asked me the question about previous business, that's how I got into the nursing home business. Went through school, took the exam, state and national. He tutored me to pass the exam, so I passed nursing home administrator's exam, became an administrator, and guess what? He went to working on something else and left me at the nursing Real simple. And so from that was the nursing home in Atlanta that he went off into. So we ended up with 220 patients, 100 here, 220 in Atlanta. And then that wasn't enough. Some spirit told him that he needed to do something else. And so in the middle of those 2 nursing homes, my brother, who was a senior at Tuskegee Institute in architectural engineering, needed a project. So he cut some property off at the nursing home and had him design a car wash. So he was into that. Now, mind you, I'm at the nursing home. And he's out doing these other things that he enjoys. He was an economic development specialist by training. So he did all of that. And then finally, his spirit told him, well, the patients' families kept saying, open up a funeral home and a modern one and plenty of parking and all of this. And so his spirit told him to do that. I'm still at the nursing home. His spirit told him to do that. And I have to say to you that I shared a love for senior citizens. And I am where I am today because I followed him. And I begged him not to do the funeral homes. He did them and died 6 months after he opened the one in Atlanta. And 2 years after he opened Garden View. So when you ask me how I got where I am today, did that tell you? All right, but I love what I do. I love people. I love serving. And the 2 industries that he did open, and our motto is the Lord placed us on this earth to serve, not be served. And so in both of those instances, as I thought about it, as I have aged, it is rewarding to be able to serve. Not everybody is able to serve, and not everybody wants to serve. And so even now with the funeral homes, even as I ask him not to, it's a love. It's and not everything is pretty, ladies and gentlemen. I came from the nursing home to the funeral home because, as my friend standing in the door knows, I had hired somebody. No, he had hired somebody that we had to change over, you know, and so the real me had to come forward. So then I had to leave from the nursing home to come to the funeral home because it was too much other stuff going on there that when you're in business, you have to pay attention to everything.
Amen.
You gotta pay attention to everything. You gotta see people as they really are when they show you who they are. Believe them. Believe them. You are. So it's a long story.
And your life itself, exactly, is an example, you know, for us all. So, I mean, honestly, you've answered the third question as well. So, thank you so much, Ms. Brown Williamson, for your insight. It truly is a gem. And so we will move on down the table at the far end of the table. Our woman of health care, a field that is ever growing, ever changing, innovative health all around us. Dr. Shanice Allen, as a business owner who receives grant funding, can you walk us through the process it takes to receive grants and some of the grants that you've received?
Okay. I'm sure that's what everyone wants to know.
Have our pens.
All this grant money. Well, yes. So we receive grant funds. We receive the Community Development Block Grant Funds, which is known as CDBG. And we receive, let's see, what else? I think we've got a small grant from Georgia Power, the Ashton Hope Foundation here in Athens, people in the communities, donations, and we are actually receiving a nice grant from the Betty and Davis Fitzgerald Foundation out of Atlanta. And the reason that we, and most recently, forgot about that, Creature Comforts Get Comfortable campaign. So we are a recipient of that as well. Now, why do we receive grant funds? Well, the majority of our students are low income and they don't have the financing to pay for the programs. And we don't accept the FAFSA or any of those type of financial aid at present. So we are looking for ways to be creative so that we can train, certify, and employ the people that are needed the most in our community. Since we have a high poverty rate, you know, people don't have the money to pay for the program, so we go out and we are fortunate to get the funds so that they can come to school, they can get anything they need. They get scrubs, supplies, training, certification, and employment, and walk out not owning a penny.
Amen.
Which is great. Yeah. So that is why we receive grant funds, and those are some of the grants we receive. Now, the Community Development Block Grant Funds, we are a for-profit business, and CBG is for nonprofits. So we partner with a nonprofit agency in the community And we were pretty much, we function as a nonprofit agency because of the type of clients that we serve. And so once we partnered with East Athens Development Corporation, we were able to receive those funds. And so we're going into our third year receiving CDBG funds.
Awesome. So the opportunities are out there, people.
Gotta be creative.
Gotta be creative.
And I'll say this about, I had been trying to get the CDBG funds for years, and was always told, no, you can't get them, no. Well, I had done the research, and I knew that we should be able to get it if we were able to partner with an organization. And so we set up a TA meeting, and I went in and told them what we were going to do. And
What's the TA meeting?
Technical assistance, I'm sorry. Set up a technical assistance with the, thank you, with the HED, yeah, HED office, Human and Economic Development office here in Athens, Clarke County. And so we gave them some information that they had to go and look up to make sure that it was doable. And they came back, oh, it's doable. Yeah, we know it's doable. And so here we are going into our third year of doing that.
I just tell them though how you blend the taxes of the nonprofit and the profit.
Maybe I
But
don't know.
because these are, yeah, okay. No, I see, I don't know how you do it,
Oh,
but when you're dealing with a nonprofit.
Yeah.
That's taxable, okay.
because we are just, there are fiscal
There's a-
Yeah,
fiscal
I know that
agents,
would be
so.
my question if I
Yeah.
was sitting there, when you say that you're for profit and you're dealing with a nonprofit. My vision goes straight to taxes, cause that's what I have to deal with, and I know if they are.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah.
And basically what is happening is that East Athens Development Corporation is operating truly as a fiscal agent. They receive the funds, they manage the funds, they have to get receipts from Dr. Allen saying, where do you spend it at, so they can then do the reporting for it. And so they report back out, but they operate as a pass-through, but also the fiscal agent. So they also have liability and responsibility for the funds that you receive.
Yes, absolutely. So they get the money through the Community Development Block Grant, and we have to submit receipts and everything that you can think of. We get audited just like they get audited through CDBG every year, just to make sure that we're doing what East Athens Development Corporation is doing, what they're saying they're doing with the money. But then they come and make sure that the students' files are there and that they've actually gone through the program or received certification and received employment. So yes, that's how that works.
I only ask that question because we have people who are listening, and one of the things that we have more trouble with in business is taxes. And that's critical in order for you to be able to operate and to operate as we should operate.
Absolutely, and I have a problem with going off script. Matter of fact, it's a wonderful segue. Dr. Allen, you are no stranger, as I'm sure none of us all are any strangers to obstacles that just arise out of anywhere in business. Particularly throughout the years, you have had the opportunity to build your school to the successful stages that it is in today. Can you explain some of the barriers you've had to face? You gave us a snippet in the beginning.
Well, yes. So some of the barriers, of course, the finances with the students, being able to have the program and the students can't benefit from it. So trying to be creative and figuring out how to get them in there. So that worked. Some of the other barriers are reputation and competition. And I'll share this with you. I was given information several times about an organization that was just talking terrible about our school, which they've never come to the school. And so just having to, constantly defend the services that you provide. And I'm like, just let the work speak for us, what we do. And it was so perfect. We were at a event, and the person that has felt bad about our school was there. We have also sent letters and asked for a meeting so that they can come over and see. And so they had the opportunity to see the school showcased and had students there. And so we were able to go up and say, did you receive that letter? We hadn't heard from you, But just being able to go and actually do the work and not have people talking bad about the services you do when they haven't even come over to the school is exactly what we do. So we don't do much advertising. We do it from word of mouth. We let our students and their successes speak for us. But though that is a huge barrier, and another barrier is being in your own way.
Yes.
Not having the faith to believe that you can accomplish this, you can do that. And I'm telling you, had it been 10 years ago, if I wasn't in my own way, we could have had a huge school with doing a lot of different things. But just sitting and talking to other people like we're doing now and stepping out and understanding if you take one step, he'll take two. The man upstairs. And just believing, and I can tell you, I left my job about 4 years ago and never had to look back, and just prayed and always did what's right and always treated people right. And he has never failed me yet.
Amen.
So just staying out your own way, that was one of my barriers initially.
It's awesome. And look, these are the things that you don't see when you're walking into the store. You only see the product. You receive the service. These are the building blocks and the bricks that are making that business what we know it to be today. And so as each of you are considering business, or engaging in business, building your business into an empire, whatever it is your desire is, we want to make sure that we're bearing all of these wonderful insights in mind. And Dr. Allen, finally, as a person that's involved in the community, as I know that you are, can you explain the importance of being not only a business owner, but a business owner that is engaged in community outreach, community whatever?
Being forever present so that they can see you. You don't have to say much. You just go and attend and let them know that you're there. So that is how I try to be engaged in the community, because sometimes we all operate in our silos and we do our own things and we forget the other people are there. Even though, like I said, we don't do much advertising, but just me going out, being present, I can tell you that's how we got a lot of our grants too. Just letting them know that you're there and what you're doing. But that is how I try to stay engaged. Very busy all the time, but I have to make time to do that because I want the business to grow and I want our students to have the opportunities that other students have. And so I understand that I know that meeting's at 2 o'clock. I'm gonna have to make time to go to that meeting at 2 o'clock. Or what that means at 9 o'clock. Well, I'm gonna have to make time to go to this meeting at 9 o'clock because they need to see and understand just what we're doing and that our students can succeed and do amazing things with opportunity.
Thank you so much. And yeah, you clap. Yeah. This has been great. Cool. Amber, you introduced yourself as the newbie of the group.
I did.
And so, with that in mind, can you share with us your success story and how you were actually able to break ground on your business?
So I said my little party corner was established 2 years ago, but it really was established maybe 15 years ago. I have always been the go-to decorator for parties, homes. I played college basketball at Southeastern. It's a small D1 in Hammond, Louisiana. I was a teammate who always cared about a teammate's birthday, make sure they had cake, balloons, just because we were all away from home. So once I moved to Athens, I didn't know nobody here because I took the job here. My husband at the time worked offshore. He was 21 days off. One of the girls that has now become my sister worked at Pilgrims with me, and she had 2 kids. And they always wanted to come to my house. I don't know why, but they always wanted to come to my house. And I found out she had 5 other sisters with kids. Then they all wanted to come to my house. They wanted to have sleepovers. Then when my husband was home, they wanted to have play games, to go play basketball with him. And I used to always do their little birthday parties. So that became my little corner. That's where the name came, because I had all my stuff, all my little party stuff in the corner in the garage. And that's all he gave me, was a little corner. So that's where I used to store all my stuff. And then once I got pregnant, I have a 9-month-old, I threw this elaborate baby shower, which if you go to my page, you will see it. And my husband was like, you paid somebody all that money for that, you could do this yourself. I said, well, I can't because I'm pregnant, but you could have, because I know you know how to do it. You can watch me do it. You know how to do it. Stuff out there in the little corner. So I was
like.
So, 2 years ago, my Karen, which if nobody actually knows Karen Dean Horton, I know y'all know her. #1 tax express, #1 service, whatever, I can't think of the name of it now. She was like, we gonna start this business, my little party corner, we're gonna start writing installments. These are expenses, right? So that's how it started, but officially, when my baby was born in May, my baby shower was in April. I was at home on maternity leave. I took my full 12 weeks, and my boss was just, "You sure you gonna be gone that long? Are you gonna come back?" And I kind of thought about maybe I wouldn't. But while I was at home, I was just thinking about, being at home, maybe staying at home, and we could spend all this time working 60, sometimes 50 hours a week for another company. I can pour at least half that time to myself. So I sat, because I was, newborn sleep most of the time. So I sat up all day and I researched how to build a website. I had somebody make me a logo. I built my website myself, and it looks good. I had a logo done. I learned how to, for my millennials in the building, y'all know we always on our phones on social media. Instagram and Facebook now have a business tool account, and it's free. And if you don't use it, shame on you if you have a business, because you can hashtag, or you can even ask Instagram to search hashtags that apply to your business, and they'll send you the hashtags you can hashtag up to 30 hashtags on your account. And that's how my business has grown. My goal, because I work full time, like I said, I have a newborn, and my initially starting out, I set a goal for myself 6 months ago, probably when I went back to work around November, is that my goal was to do 3 parties a month. That's all I wanted to do. The average cost of a party for my little party corner is about $400. So I said, if I can make $1,200 a month, that's my shopping money. My husband tell me no, don't worry about it. So I started hashtag, and people just started finding me. Last month I did 7 parties.
Wow.
Yes, just from Instagram. I don't have any other advertisement. I just ordered a business card yesterday, but because of Facebook and Instagram, people have reached out to me and booked me. I had to turn 3 people down this month because my next question is going to be how I balance family time. But Instagram, Facebook, and y'all who don't have Instagram or Facebook, if you do, go follow me. It's my little party corner. And I just want y'all to see something, because if y'all have an Instagram business account, you can go to it, and it'll talk to you about your engagement. So if you log in, it says I had 345 visits in the last 7 days to my page. If I click on it, the last 3 posts I put on my page, although people didn't like it, although they didn't leave a comment, 607 people saw my post. I had 41 likes. They see you, sis. They see you, bro. They see you. Them seeds gonna eventually come into likes, and they're gonna eventually come into clients. So this past weekend, my friend, she has 30,000 followers. Her name is Dr. Lauren Elise. She's in Atlanta. Her business page is Dr. Social Media. She got a doctorate degree in social media. That's how serious it is. And she manages clients, and she works full time in marketing for a company. And she has over 30,000 followers. And this weekend, I did her nonprofit event, and just from her page, it tells her the engagement. She had over 5,000 engagements from her event she did Sunday, which turned. And then when I go, if y'all don't know, you can click on it. You can go to activity, and she can see right here. You can't see that. That's 992. I have almost 6,000 impressions from my page, and I've reached almost 1,000 people who don't follow me. And all I do is post on Instagram with hashtags. And on here, I've had 345 profile visits. I've had 26 website clicks, which at this point with Instagram, social media, you don't even need a website. Honestly, you don't. But I ain't spend no money on it. And I booked 5 clients between yesterday and Monday for March. Not for March, but for April and then May. 2 graduation parties in May, and 3 baby showers, just from her tagging me that I did her event.
Question.
So, yes.
As one of the veterans.
Literally.
Exactly what are you posting?
So I have an event. I'm sorry if I didn't explain it earlier. My little party corner is a event planning page. So if you go to my page, I have backdrops of balloon garlands. I have fringe walls. I do mosaic letters and alphabets. I do balloon walls. Anything you think of party-wise for birthday, retirement, I just did. People go, are you gonna quit your job eventually? I work with 1,500 people. They always have babies, they got children, they're engaged. No, they're my number one people. And Pilgrims booked me this past Saturday to host their live ops banquet. And do you get a discount? No, you don't. I don't charge y'all delivery, okay? Yes, ma'am.
My question was, you mentioned Instagram business, what was that exactly?
So when you download Instagram and you create an account, it actually do you want a personal account or do you want a business account? And both of them are free. Most people think you gotta pay for them, but you don't. So I just set it up as a business account. And although my business page only has almost 400 followers, my personal account has almost 5,000 followers. So what I did also was change my personal to business because I know people are looking at my posts. Why are you looking at it? Don't click the link in my bio. And go to my little party corner. So yes, use social media. It's free. Now I think Facebook has a boost program where you can pay like $5 a month and they'll boost your at least 3 posts a month. I don't even have to do that because of the hashtags, but please use social media. I tell my mama and my aunties, they're older, I don't want to call it the veterans. But if you're not using your Instagram, how do you expect somebody to find you? I've been in Athens for 4 years. I didn't know anybody here. When I wanted a hairstylist, I found them. Hashtag Athens hairstylist. I wanted my lashes done. Athens Lash Tech. Athens Nail Tech. Athens, whatever I wanted to find, that's how I found it. Athens photographers. So,
I have another good question, is most of your business is local, what you're getting?
I'm not gonna say it's just local, although I would love to stay in Athens because it's close, but most of my events have been in Atlanta.
That's what I was wondering. And you said Facebook,
Facebook,
Instagram.
So
You
if you
mentioned
do not
Facebook.
have a personal page, Facebook will not allow you to create a business page if you don't have a personal. I've never had Facebook, but I created one and it's private. But the only reason why I have it is so I can have a business account. And the only thing I post on my personal are the reposts from my
Instagram.
business account. I can't be tagged and none of that foolishness that folks post. Ain't added, none of that.
When I was actually in business school, they actually said that don't get on Facebook until you get your business and use it. That's how you get your heads. So
Right,
that's
but a lot of people have Facebook. If I would have had Facebook in high school or college, I probably would have over 10,000 friends. You know, at some point you get to a limit where you can't have friends. And I feel like that's the opportunity I missed out on, especially with now having all these people that I know in my job. Because my job can link me when they post the banquet pictures this weekend. And them people are not my friends because we've all shied away from having our co-workers our friends or from, you know, so I feel like that was a missed opportunity for me.
Actually, they said that when you have, because once you get a person tag you on Facebook, then that person, they won't allow you to use that person for say for commercial business. A lot of people really make their money on Facebook. Their business is through commercial. And so now you go after those people, you'll be able to tag them to your business, and you will eventually be able to get Facebook from a commercial standpoint where you get advertisement. And so-
Correct, but you still have to add those people. So when my friends' kids come over, wanna be on my phone, I tell them go to Facebook and go accept all the friend requests I
Then
got.
if you had already had those people though, you would not have been able to add them. So if you get them now, that
Right.
can boost your business. But you mentioned Facebook Purge or Facebook Boost.
Facebook Boost. So when you create your Facebook account as a business page, when you're on your business page, when you make a post with a caption, it'll say, would you like to boost your account?
Okay.
And when you click boost, it'll take you to a payment page, say you can get this many posts for $5, this many boosts for $10 a month.
Thank you very much.
One thing, Miss Betty and I were just talking about too is know your industry, because certain industries have limitations. So for example, like even with me in the financial industry, one of the things you will never see on my Facebook page is me saying, oh look, Chevrons went down from $120 to $80 a day. I cannot do that.
Right.
Because I cannot do that. That's a SEC fine. So know your industry when you start posting and what you're talking about. On my Edward Jones page, I post articles. They're very general in nature, but it's that way on purpose because it's not me giving advice. Because anything I say around anything stock, bond, mutual fund can be considered advice. And so just know your industry and what your rules and regulations are. Because the funeral home business has some things like
That's
that.
it. We was just sitting here talking. We can on our Facebook page. You can go and see obituaries. You can see stuff that relates individually, but you can't see some of what she's done. You can't go out and make it look like you're wishing somebody will die. I mean, so you have to know your industry. You have to know what it is that you're doing. So in business, just one of the things that we can't emphasize enough is to know what it is that you're getting into and what it is that you're doing, and find out all you can about it, your limitations, and all of that, so that you can be successful in business.
Yes, and you too. And on that note, because we're already segueing into the questions for the audience, so engagement, exposure, knowing your limitations, and all of these wonderful insights and nuggets to help you business owners, you potential business owners. So let's bear into mind. Let's go ahead before I tip out and give these panelists a round of applause for their time and their knowledge and insight today. It's been an honor to serve as your moderator, and now the floor is open for questions.
Did you have a question? I thought you had your hand raised. Did she have? Right here. Okay. Did you have a question? Oh, you forgot?
I have a question.
Okay.
Nobody else does. It's actually specific to me.
So you want to pick on the age?
No. I just feel like, you know, when you were talking about you were the person who is a little more experienced on the panel by your own admission, actually. You know, so,
That's all right. You can get by with it. These are my favorite people. So you can get by with it.
But what I, you know, as you were talking, you were talking about, you know, you and your husband Coy, and as you were talking, your story is incredible. But one of the things I started paying attention to was the way that the two of you related to each other as you grew a business. And as an aspiring husband, I'd like to kind of get your feedback on like how your business affected your relationship. As much as you are comfortable sharing with us, so that we can.
I'm very comfortable with that because we developed early in that relationship that we could separate business, home, friendship from each other. I mean that if something went on at the house that I did not like, you would never know it at the business because they didn't mix at all. If at the business I recognized that he was all of our bosses at the business, and I could recognize that, and we could live with that. We supported each other in whatever it is, but Robert, I have to say that there can be no. You have to have a broad mind. There can be no jealousies and insecurities.
Ooh, you better say it.
My Lord.
You can't deal with that at all. You can't be insecure. And I'll give you this. The second year that we were, I guess, in business, the second year we were here, he was working on the business. I got a phone call that asked me if I was Mrs. Coy Williamson Jr. Well, you know, I paused and I said, yes. Well, you don't know me, but I just want to tell you that your husband is going with his secretary. I said, and you seem so upset about that. I said, are you sure that he chose her and not you? And the phone went I'm known to tell you, hang around, he might get the uniques.
You better not be.
We try to do things that kind of have splits. husband was bothered, cause he said, I'm not that kind of man. I said, but what you have to know is people will try, and they will test.
Yes.
So as a husband and wife, the two of you have to have an understanding. And you can never be insecure. You know, my attitude was, he sought me.
Okay.
I ain't gonna look at him.
And apparently I'm who he wanted.
Yeah.
And as long as he treats me with respect, I'm fine. Tell me anything you want to tell me about him. He can get away with murder because I don't believe you anyway. It has to be, you just have to be secure in who you are. And not think about it. So I trusted him. He built up to that. I was perfect. But as far as I was concerned,
That's right. That's right.
That's millennials, you know, we quick to pick them up and put them down. June, I will be married for 5 years, and as I said, I have a newborn. So obviously, when I came home with the baby, I was working Monday through Friday off, and when he was off his 21 days, it was his time. And while he was gone, you can do whatever you want to do. You can play all parties you want to play, but when 21 days I'm home, you need to be at home. Well, he decided when we had the baby, he wasn't going back to work. He was like, I can't leave the 21 days. I can't leave a baby. So I came home with a newborn and a full-time husband, as I used to tell him, I was a part-time wife. So one thing that he had to learn, and we both still have to accept, is that I'm not the same person who married 5 years ago. I have new goals. Everybody should have their own goals. Everybody should have their own ambitions. And you can't be mad or jealous or feel some kind of way because I decided to step out and pursue entrepreneurship. And I'm being successful, and you still got your 9 to 5 and you want an extra hustle going. You can't be mad.
but they calls for communication.
Correct. So what I had to do was communicate, which I didn't get a chance to talk about, was how I balance having a newborn and a husband. Well, that's why I said I only do, my goal was 3 parties a month. And I would tell people what that day book. If you can't get that same Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I can't be your party. And I just would say, well, those other dates I booked. And well, I can move some around. So if I'm doing 3 parties, they all be the same weekend. And if I have another event, I will make sure they're all on the same weekend. So 2 weekends out the month, I know I'll be off. You won't be able to find me because I'm setting up stuff. But you got 2 weekends of the month that I'm at home, I don't have nothing to do. And to help you out, my mama came this weekend because I had events Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So my mama was here. My stepdad came down, so in case you want to go to the gym, you want to do what you want to do, you weren't mad and stuff. Because last week I went to the Bahamas with my girlfriend. I already knew. But it's communication. And you got to remember that you married a person, not who they are at that time. They can grow. Somebody can lose their job. They might be able to provide like they used to. So just remember that there's ups and downs, and that person is not stuck to the same person you married whenever y'all get married.
Communication is the key, and know who it is that you have. And you have to know each other. Yeah, you have to know each other, and you have to do things to make each other happy. You know, so you gotta know each other. You gotta communicate and communicate honestly and truthfully. If you feel a certain way, then say it. You know, it just has to be just that cut and dry. If it isn't, it comes back to haunt you.
I have a question. Particularly for you, you kind of changed pathways. What are some of the tactics that you recommend for being agile and flexible that way, and being able to quickly learn what you need to know for that craft? Because those are kind of unrelated fields that you were working in. So how do you bone up fast?
They were, in my particular instance, at Athens Tech when I taught, one of the things that I did is I went from teaching executive business, I went back to the university and learned legal, and I opened a legal program, legal secretarial and office management program, and medical office program. So I was already going in that direction, I think, anyway. But I really did change patterns, and it all depends on the person. Some of us can do it, and some of us can't. It was not that difficult for me. It was more of a mindset, let me say. I had my goals set on running the program at Athens Technical College. And so when I had to back up, but what I kept in mind was that I took a vow, for better or for worse, when I got married. And so I kept in mind, and you have to understand I'm old school. My husband was the head of my household. Though I had my say and when I said no, and he learned very early, no is a complete sentence with me. When I say no, I need no explanation. You don't ask for one because you won't get it. No is no. And yes is yes. So we knew each other that well. I mean, it was that. So I think a lot has to do with the person and what your intent and how willing you are to give. But through it all, I really can't emphasize communication enough, because that's pretty much what it takes. And getting along, seeing each other, you know, and working with each other. And that's, I guess that's pretty much, because actually I've had 3 careers, and 3 of them at the same time, because the federal government with teaching and now the entrepreneurship. But in the middle of that, as I shared with, I think, Frederick, he is gone. I shared with him one of the worst feelings I live with to this hour. My youngest daughter is now the oldest one will be 50 this year. And the youngest one will be 46, I think it is. And I live with, when we were working on the business in and out of Atlanta, she failed, and I got her for communication. She said to me, Mommy, everybody was on that field she was the captain of the cheering squad. And the parents, everybody had their mama on the field at homecoming, but I did not have you. I said, and it made me, to this hour, I feel bad about it. But I said, but Trina, did you tell me that at homecoming parents were going to be escorting? And she recognized that. She just told me it was homecoming, and she didn't tell me that part. But I still couldn't hold her responsible. But the teaching in that was failing to communicate. She and I didn't communicate that we needed to be there. But I still felt bad, because it was my responsibility as her mama to be supportive of her. Now her dad was there, but she said my mama was not there. So I only say that to say, with us as mamas, as wives, as full-time workers, you know, employees, and then the business, we just have to work it all together. And enjoy it as we do it. I will throw that in, that as a husband and wife, we had fun working together, we had fun playing together. And we did set aside time where we spent together ourselves. We would go on trips, we love to travel. And so, but you have to work it where it fits in both patterns. That's back to your question. Okay.
Can I echo something from Monique's question too? Because most people don't know this about me. For over a decade, our family ran a cosmetology school, phase 1 cosmetology school here in Athens. It was myself, my mother, my Aunt Carolyn. And I did the back office bookkeeping accounting and did our accreditation piece of that. So I know what you're going through. And I had to learn the cosmetology industry. And so I kind of had a glimpse in it because I was shampoo girl in high school, so I knew some of the basics. But I started going to a lot of the hair shows where I was going initially for leisure. It was fun, the shows and all excited, but then I started sitting on classes. And so in the middle of all this, and this is why I'm still in the banking world too. So carrying a 9 to 5 and juggling all of that, but then also learning a totally different industry. So I have to understand from an accreditation standpoint, what did I need to be doing? So it takes a lot of juggling, but you fit it in and you figure out what can I do and what do I like to do. I did a speech at church a while ago to the teens, and I named it "Get a Bigger Plate." But part of that was that you can fit all the things. We find time to do the things we actually enjoy and like doing and want to do. And so I called it "Get a Bigger Plate" because it's also talking about stepping outside of your normal boundaries and doing things that are not in your normal wheelhouse and being okay with that. So I think also just keep in mind, if you are thinking about expanding even in your business area, you may have to go do that additional training. Stay up late reading that book. I'm an audiobook person because I'm on the road a good bit.
Same.
So I don't read a physical book a whole lot anymore, but I'm playing it and they're always on there. So you figure out what works. So.
And to add to that, I think the more you're more flexible with change, is the more opportunity
Yes.
that or income that comes to you. Because I have, when I was in college, my degree was in accounting. Playing basketball, I think our grant money was cut, so school went through Monday through Thursday. So classes were not only 50 minutes no more, they went to an hour and 15. And then by 12 o'clock, coach said, class gotta be done. I don't care what y'all gotta do. You can't have class from 12 to 5. Anything, if you wanna go to night class, that's fine, but from 12 to 5, that's if you don't have study hall. So I had to change my major, which I'm glad I did, because my major was in marketing. And I played a 5th year because I redshirted, and I went back and got an HR degree. Well, I started out in HR at Sanderson Farms in Macomb, Mississippi, and they made me do safety. I didn't want to do safety, but they made me do both. They didn't want to pay me for both, but they made me do both, and I did both for 3 years on night shift from 4 p.m. to 1 a.m., and I lived an hour away from work. I used to tell my husband all the time, I'm quitting today. I'm quitting today. And he used to be like, that's fine, you're gonna quit. We're gonna stop talking about it. I don't wanna hear nothing about it. You're gonna go to work every day. I don't wanna hear nothing about you quit. You better come tell me something good that happened that day. So I was sitting researching and I was like, well, if I'm doing safety, I got 2 years under my belt, let me find a safety job because they pay no money, they're HR jobs. And I found one. It took a year, but I found one here in Athens and I moved. But was it my plan to be in safety? No. Did I have to take some expensive Georgia Tech OSHA classes to get my accreditation up? Yes, I did. But I did it because, one, I wanted more stuff. I wanted a bigger plate, so I had to look for more opportunities or the possible change to get the life or desire the income that I want. So sometimes you have to. It's all about you.
You guys are so impressive. How do you find balance in your life between your entrepreneurship, your businesses, and your family?
You want to take it better?
Well, now, I'm a widow now, but I balance, I guess, because I have an excellent staff. I give these young people, that was my husband's goal. He deals with him a little. He wanted to deal with the young. He wanted them to understand that there's something that you can do, you can make a living, you can enjoy being in business, and it can be legal. That's what he used to say. Now, whenever my life right now, my grandchildren, my girls say that they can ask me, Mama, what are you doing on Friday? And I'll tell them a whole line of stuff. The grandkids can call and say, Gabby, what are you doing on Friday? And I said, what do you need? Church.
Right.
And when they tell me what they need, I said, oh, okay. When do you want me there? And so I can go and talk to the guys and I say, I need to do this for the grandkids. What's going on? What do I need to do here? And so it balances out. We can find, my attitude, and it's just Betty, my attitude is you can do what you want to do, when you want to do it, if you want to do it badly.
Yeah.
So it's your decision, to what it is that you get out of life. And I enjoy life now. My only regret is not having my husband enjoy it with me, but that was the Lord's decision. And so I make the best out of it. I don't live in a zone of wishing something that isn't going to happen. I've accepted that it is not happening. And so I make life and I enjoy life. I enjoy all of my church folks and all my big sisters and sorority sisters. So you do, and you make life what it is that you want it to be.
I honestly struggle. I mean, I was very transparent. I feel like I struggle with it. But here's the approach that I take. And if anybody's sitting at a church session I've ever done, I always use this analogy. If you had $86,400 given to you every single day, how would you spend it? What are you spending it on? What are you buying? $86,400 every single day. And when you start thinking about what are you spending it on, because here's the thing, you can't save the $86,400. At midnight, it gets wiped out, you get a new $86,400. What are you spending it on? And that boils down to me, I think about things that way. I live in the money world, right? We get 86,400 seconds every day. what are you spending it on? So I think, how am I spending my bank? And so for me, as I've been growing and developing over time, I do a lot of community involvement activities, and so even deciding, is this a board that I want to give my $86,400 to? And so I've started saying no, and I've actually redefined even what my mission is in life. And that helps me make a decision about what I give my time and my money to. And so that's kind of the approach that I've been taking on, and I haven't gotten all the way there yet by any means, but I think in my head it helps me clear it up so I can make those decisions so my no becomes a no. And no, I don't want to go to that party. I don't want to go to your baby shower. No. And I say that, right. I did not RSVP. I told them no. I wasn't the person that said yes on Facebook and didn't go. So I said no, I'm not coming.
You got to be there.
Yeah. And so I figured out, how do I want to spend my 86,400 seconds every day?
And you have to remember, no is a complete sentence.
Period.
Well, I struggle too, so I'm still in the trying to get a good staff and being able to trust that staff. So I'm in the struggle mode. I'm still at almost 16 hours a day, I know, but it's just me. I'm not married, no kids, so I can do that. That makes me happy because it's my business, not having to work for somebody else, but I'm working on it.
And you said a magic word, a good staff. And it takes a while to develop a good staff and a staff that you can trust. It takes a while to do that. And I'm at a point now where I have a good staff, but I keep my eyes open because good can turn.
And on top of good staff, it goes with a good support system.
Yes.
Like Michelle didn't know who I was, but she knew my baby. Because Karen Dean had Roe everywhere. And when I got something to do, don't worry about it, I got them. Her mama come get them, her friends come get them. They be like, you got a party this weekend? Let me come get Roe. I be like, thank God, because I didn't want to have to say his daddy. He's stuck at home this weekend because I got a party. So, a good support system. Your friends, if they want to help, let them help you. People so hung up on hell bent on, I can do everything by myself. No, you cannot.
You are not self-made. You do not do it by yourself.
And for example, I told you last week we went to the Bahamas, me and my girlfriend. We was at the airport Thursday, and the daycare called me and said, Ro has a fever and somebody need to come get him. And once he have a fever, 24 hours, he can't come back. He got 18 coming in at the same time. Of course he gonna have a fever. What y'all want to do? Well, let me call somebody and tell them to come get him. Karen on line, I need to go. I got a client, but I can be there in 30 minutes. I said, no, his daddy gonna go. He took off work Thursday, Friday, and Monday. I said, that you didn't have to do all that. You just want to go. So he had a vacation. Rose was with Karen. I was like, how you out work babysitting and you ain't even got your baby? But I ain't there, so I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Did we answer your question? I'm concerned sometimes that we get carried away with some stuff, and then it's always important if we address the issue. Robert has a
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to take the space, it's a wonderful event for the women, so, I just got I appreciate it on the panel as well, but I really just got a statement, basically information sharing. I'm on the board of United Way of Northeast Georgia, and they are restructuring the way they give out funds and their funding priorities. And one of them is like early childhood development and or early prenatal care and whatnot. They've identified that as an area where like there's a disparity amongst like races. Minority women have like trouble getting those prenatal care and those items sometimes, so they're going to focus on some of those areas. But anyway, the other areas like education and workforce development, sustainability. But they're looking to reach out to more minority nonprofits. So they'll be sharing some information from different avenues. Like if you have a 501c3, if you're a smaller nonprofit, there are still certain stipulations that may hinder you from applying on your own, but you can partner with a larger agency. We're kind of going through that whole process, Shanice does with EADC. There's still like different, so I'll be passing a lot of this information out through the Northeast Georgia Business Alliance channels and whatnot, but basically they get a lot of their funding from private funders locally through industry. I mean, they like Publix, I think, Kroger, they opt into where their employees can get a certain percentage of their paycheck that goes towards this fund that goes directly to United Way, and then United Way disperses those funds. But a lot of times our organizations don't know about a lot of these processes, So, you know, I spoke up at the board meeting saying that we need to intentionally put in our strategic plan to reach out to groups like this. You know, so that's one of the things I was advocating for in that space. So I need y'all to be ready to apply. And we also need some grant reviewers as well. So if you want to go through that review process and sit on that part of the board, as well, we need some volunteers for that. Yeah, so that's all.
Quick comment on that. When you say ready, is there some type of training program that they offer?
Yes, that's one of the things I mentioned as well. Just like the HCD locally, they offer their technical assistance. You know, there's a nonprofit cohort that does the same thing with grant writing, with capacity building, with staffing, with all these different things. Northeast Georgia Business Alliance is going to be doing some of that as well. But we will be offering those services to some of the smaller organizations and giving them feedback too. Like, they don't get funded this year. We want to give them feedback to let them know, like, hey, this is what you could have done to make you more competitive. But this is the things that you need to put in place that you can get funding in subsequent years.
Any more questions before we wrap it up? Robert?
I'd like to ask my one more if that's okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So I'm gonna just go ahead and be honest with you, or just shoot straight. I believe that, the four of you are incredible. You've done wonderful work in the community and for yourselves and within the industry. In various stages of your professions, you've had, unique experiences. I know that one of the things that I've always kind of struggled to understand in different points, specific to Black women, is the Black woman's ability to lead in this particular society. As a Black man, we all, as Black men, I think sometimes, those that I've actually spoken with myself, we often forget that, our experience is not always similar. Our experience of being Black is similar, but we do not know necessarily what it's like to be a Black woman. Especially the way that we sometimes, as men, generally can look at our women. And for Black women, it seems like that experience has such a uniqueness to it that it's really difficult to kind of like even encompass. So for the four of you, you're in a very unique position because you're already established, you have businesses that you're running, and whether you are a newbie or you are more experienced, all four of you have something to offer in terms of helping us to understand what it's like in your seat, from like the struggles specific to being a Black woman and being seen as a Black woman and experience as a Black woman when you yourself go as a leader outside to other community partners, organizations, other business people, and they look at you and either expecting another person or not respecting you because of who you are and the way that you look. So I was just wondering if any one of you wouldn't mind just enlightening those of us who do not share that experience on what it was like to get to where you were and the difficulty with which you got to where you were.
Hey, look, if you
2 hours.
if you want to plan that event, then I'll come back to it.
I would tell you that, and I'll just give you this example. When it comes to certain things, even right here in Clark County, when it comes to certain issues or areas that we have to deal with as a Black female in that position, I will send one of the mayors. I will send, they know exactly what I'm looking for, what questions that need to be asked, they will know where to go. And Maurice Daniels has been a great mentor to me in that instance, because I know in some areas, even in the Clark County government, African American women are not you're not supposed to know enough to talk about what it is that you gotta deal with. Am I gonna sweat the small stuff? It's all small stuff. I pull one of the males and I say, I need you to go do this for me. I need you to find out blah, 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 and bring it back to me. Same issue gets taken care of. But we have to decide that, sometimes we have, I've witnessed attitudes where sometimes in positions we feel like it's necessary to emphasize we're in that position. I don't. When the pastor talks about absolute power, y'all can have it all. I can stay in the back room and still get the job done. We have to make sure that we are smart enough to know that it's not always important for somebody to know who you are when you're
That truth.
And so we have to make those kinds of decisions. Comes easy for me at this point in life. So that's the attitude that I personally take. It's easy for me to come and tell somebody else, get the same answer, get the better answer that I need to get. Because sometimes they think we don't know, so they'll tell you it's up here, and it should be down here. Send a mail and it'll stay down here. That's my way of doing it.
I can appreciate that, as I'm going through that situation currently. It's hard being an African American woman and having a school, the capacity that we have, and people not believing, oh, is that a real school? What is it? We have the same approval that Athens Tech and UNG and other schools have as well. And people just, not people, some of them just have a hard time understanding it. And I appreciate that piece that you gave, because that allows me to, I don't have to sit there and say, yes, we are this and that. I don't have to do that, because I have so much other things that I could be doing. But I do appreciate that. But it's very hard walking in my shoes and making sure that, you know, we get the same opportunities as others get, and not being told that it's we can't assist you because it's favoritism. And when we ask, it's favoritism, but when someone else asks, it's not. It's, oh, they needed that anyway. But it's hard, but I'm learning, and I'm going to do better in that capacity, and not necessarily spinning my wheels. I don't have to stand on the mountaintops and scream. But I will work on it, but it's hard. It's really, really hard. And working on that. Under construction.
I'm with her. Like I said, I took this job in 2016. I'm 30. So when I took this job, I was 26 years old, safety manager at Pilgrims. My boss has been working 30 years there. They've been there forever. They 56 years old. As a safety manager, they always say it's always safety, quality, production. But anybody that worked in the plant, they know what production would trump everything. And as the safety manager, it was always my call to be like, all right, we're gonna stop, we're gonna shut this down until we get it right, or we all come to Jesus meeting. And like she said, a dream I need to take away is I don't have to scream from the mountaintops my point across. And I got to the point where I used to be real snooty and let them go ahead and do it, and then just shut it down when they get done, and have the whole thing get sent home. And then I'm the BIT, I'm the black BITCH then. But then I had to learn that I don't have to do that. If we in a room like we are now and there's an issue, when I get done, if they not hearing me out, I'll just go pull you to the side, Michelle. I know you talked about this, but we got this policy. This is what the policy states. Now you can choose to violate the policy. Not violate me, because you know we always take it personal. When somebody do something against us, it's us. No, it's not me. You can choose to go against the company's policy, and at that time you can deal with HR. But I can work with you on a better way to do it. That way we have a smooth process. We don't have to pay for it twice. We don't have to send people home, and we can work together. We can come to an agreement. So that's what I had to learn to do. Take a step back, because one, they feel like I don't know what I'm talking about. They've been doing it forever. Ain't nobody gonna get hurt doing it. But I know y'all probably seen in the news last year, we had a fatality here at Pilgrims where a team member was ran over by a pallet jack. Then we had an illegal immigrant that worked for our contractor, QSI, sanitation team member, that got his arm pulled off about a month ago. But I couldn't be like, I told y'all. I had to be like, all right, well, you know, we had this issue, how can we fix it? Now I want to scream from the mountaintop, see what happens when you don't listen. And that's hard to take, because I'm the person that's got to go to this family member and tell him. I had to meet his wife and children here at the ER, you know, but you just have to learn and have to remember that it's not, don't take it personal against me. It's the company. choose not to follow him, we can choose not to work here. One of the two.
My dad, and you probably would remember him, used to have a favorite saying, "There's more than one way to skin a cat." Skin it loose, you can skin it down.
Yeah, my approach was always, especially early on, is I would ask. Some of the things I knew the answer to already, but I would ask. Just to see, because I need to judge who am I dealing with, because how to approach them, right? And so I spent a whole lot of time early on, especially me being in the financial industry, very male dominated, very few black people in leadership capacity on either side of it. And so I had colleagues on one hand that would question me, but then once I figured out the one thing that I would start doing is then I just wanted to show them. I was like, okay, I understand. I need to figure out what the bar is at. You answered that question, and then I would go exceed that bar. Well, most of the time what I didn't realize is that the bar was set differently for me than everyone else, but I exceeded the bar. So when my production is now exceeding everyone else, it was, what are you doing differently? I'm working, what y'all doing? and I would be very simple, and I would go on my way. And I lived in my corner, so I learned how to live on an island very well early on. Good or bad, let me be very clear, that's not always a good thing, but I learned how to live on an island very well. And then even as it transformed over into government relation work and community work, I was a person, I just want to see your records. Show me the records and show me your numbers. I'll know what you're doing by then. I don't need you to answer the question. And so I found ways around it, more than way to skin a cat. And so.
Robert, did we answer you? Did we address you?
Yes, you did.
Right.
And we would help you.
Well, I just want to give them one more round of applause, guys. Yeah, this is like my grandmama, y'all. Like Betty Brown Williams. She is the first person I call when I'm in trouble. Michelle is the second because they are coming, and they're a force to be reckoned with. I just want to thank the moderator as well, Frederick. He had to run out to another event that he was partaking in tonight. He's very busy, so want to thank him. I mentioned the surveys earlier.